Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. Today we are talking about food trucks, and joining me right now we have Jason Rodriguez. You are a health inspector with the city of Midland. How long have you been doing that for?
About 2 years.
Okay, so there's a lot of things that I'm sure you have to follow as far as rules go when you're inspecting a lot of food trucks. For anyone who doesn't know, what are some of the advantages and challenges that a lot of food truck owners are facing when they're operating their business?
Some of the advantages are that they get to move to where their customers are, so that's a pretty big upside. With restaurants, you're stuck in one location, you can't move. If something happens, like, that's your spot. Mobile units are mobile, so they can go where the customers are needed. They can bring whatever they need to that area. And some of the disadvantages are it's a small space, so there's not a lot that they can do. Like, they're limited.
And the thing about operating out of a food truck is, like you said, small space. You kind of have to understand a lot of things as far as operating your food truck, because there's the marketing part, there's the mechanic part, there's the cooking part. So when you're operating in that small space, for someone who's a consumer trying to get their food, how can someone who's just a regular Joe Schmo, how can they know that, hey, this food is okay? That the operator is following these rules to ensure that this food is okay to eat? Because again, it is a small space.
I get you, yeah. So basically just being permitted. So when they're permitted, they have to follow all the Texas food laws, and they get inspected. We can pop up. They should just be following all the proper protocols.
And so we have this graphic right here. So if you're someone who's going to eat at a food truck, I know I'm guilty of doing that all the time. You have to check for permits, cross-contamination, hair nets with long hair. Talk about that and why that's important as well.
Oh, just the permits we just said that you have to be permitted to operate within Midland, and just cross-contamination, that's pretty much like chicken. If you touch chicken, didn't wash your hands, and then you, I guess, touch anything else, like you cross-contaminated chicken with beef, you could get salmonella. That's a pretty common thing. Other foodborne illnesses. And
are there a lot of things that you look out for as far as, like, let's say someone leaves a chicken too close to, or the meat, let's say, so close to the sink, or maybe it has to be like a few feet away from this item? Are there strict rules like that you have to look at?
It's more of just, you don't, like, you have your, say, a green board for veggies, a blue for fish, maybe a red for all of the red meats, and then yellow for chicken, stuff like that. It's more just not washing your hands after using different types of meats and other stuff to make sure that you're not gonna cross-contaminate. Not so much. That's just more of like an eye-to-eye. Obviously, if you're washing and there's soap, and then it somehow, when you're washing, the splash could get to the chicken, it just by case, So
does the city of Midland have kind of like a point system when it comes to health inspectors looking at food trucks? I mean, if you see certain things that look wrong in the food truck, do you take off points, and then how does it work if a food truck gets too many demerits, let's say?
So there is a point system. Food safety, and there's some stuff at the primary that's, like, say, out of temperature, that's like 3 points. There's 2 points, and then smaller things, like maybe personal items in the food prep area, is 1 point deduction. Basically, it's 100 points, and getting below a 70 is gonna get you shut down.
Really?
Temporarily. So you have to correct
the
mistakes,
Okay. Is that something that is also posted to the public for people to be aware about as well?
It's public, so in the inspections and displays, your permit has to be displayed it has to be displayed publicly.
Okay, very good. And let's talk about food safety concerns, so temperature control and hygiene. And small space. Do you guys ever go out to food trucks when they're actually there and operating, or is it usually in their down hours when they're not operating, or how does it work?
Food trucks are pretty random. We kind of just catch them when they're operating. Usually they're out there in their location. Every time usually they're cooking. That's the one time that you kind of catch them, because they have everything there.
And is it random? So
Yeah, it's random.
It is random? Do you ever get operators who get upset or anything, because it's kind of like when you're in class and you get the pop quiz that the teacher has out?
I mean, sometimes, but I mean, that's just part of it. They have to be ready at any time.
Yeah.
It's pretty random. It could be a Monday, a Tuesday. We just pop up. We be courteous to, if they're busy, we don't want to hurt their business.
Right. And then, so let's talk about, we were talking about permitting and inspection. How important is that when it comes to food safety and ensuring that whenever customers are going, that everything is up to date, everything has been inspected, they are following all these rules? Because is it often that you stumble across an operator who maybe has hit a lot of demerits and they're not following some of these rules?
It's case by case. If they are, like, over and over again not following rules, and then you'll see the same thing that you demerited last time. You just really, I think it gets more serious at that point, that you need to teach them.
Yeah, and so on this graphic here, so I didn't know this, they need an inspection from the fire marshal as well. Can you talk about the roles that all of these departments play when it comes to inspecting?
So code is the parking permit.
Okay.
And that's their part. Fire marshal, they do an inspection. They inspect if there's a hood vent. They inspect the propane, the generator, the vehicle itself.
Yeah.
And then we do the food side, so we just make sure that there's a hot water heater, there's 3-bin wash sink, a hand wash sink, and then we just kind of make sure that there's soap and paper towels next to their hand wash station. We're just looking through those are some of the main highlights. We're just making sure that they have everything that they need.
And I think, as a food truck operator, I don't know, I've never been a food truck operator, but let's say it's a really busy day and there's some things that let's say they have a great record, but maybe it was just such a busy day, and then some things were kind of out of place by the time you guys show up. Is it ever a situation where there's a slap on the wrist, or it doesn't even matter? Everything has to be in order.
I mean, we just put what we see. It's not to hurt you, to where if there's super busy and you're spreading cheese fell all over the floor. Maybe, like, we know you're busy, and we can reflect that in the comments.
Yeah.
It's not the world's end.
Yeah, because that's not your job. Your job isn't to shut down these businesses. It's really just to ensure that they are serving food that is safe for the public.
Food safety, we don't want to get anybody sick.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just curious, has there ever been a case where someone did get sick from, and it was coming from this certain business, and it was continuously happening where people were getting sick? You don't have to don't mention any names, but like, I'm just curious.
Since I've been there, it's more of just someone puts in a complaint, we check it out. There hasn't been actually cases of, say, like salmonella from a certain spot. Yeah.
Good. Midlanders are, doing their job and serving up meals that's safe for everyone. Okay. Can you provide examples of innovative and successful food trucks? And I know I can think of some from the top of my head, but some that make their business unique and it's different for the customer. Because really, like you said in the beginning, going to where the customers are is vital for a food truck operator. I mean, that's how they get their business running, right?
Yeah. Just thinking outside of the box, being unique, different ethnic foods, just being something different in the area can be a plus. So that's a big plus. Bakeries, like, there's not a lot of bakeries. It's more just food trucks is more like burritos is pretty prominent here. Burritos, tacos, stuff like that. But sometimes you see something different and you want to check it out. Sometimes even just their food truck itself will catch somebody's eye.
As a health inspector who's been doing this for a few years, what are some things that you notice that people tend to gravitate towards as far as food truck operators? Like, let's say, I mean, you said that, you know, tacos are a very common thing here. Is that something that people tend to like in Midland, or is it just whatever if it's like a new type of cuisine that's different to the area, do you see more of that as well, or?
Yeah, no, it's just, I feel like it's just what people want. Like, people are used to breakfast burritos in the morning, where there can be a coffee, like a mobile coffee unit. That's just some of the things we see.
Okay. Awesome. And I kind of want to go back to the code enforcement. So you were saying that operators need a permit whenever they're parked in a certain area. How exactly does that work? Let's say there's a food truck that wants to be parked at one place on a weekend, and let's say during the weekday they want to go to another place. Do they have to get the same permit, or is it a different one each time?
It just depends. If it's an event like at some park, like a fair, it's a temporary permit to go to that event. If they didn't have a permit from here, like say if there's from someone else. If they have a permit here in Midland, they can go there, and then, but if it's just like they're moving from one spot to the next, they're gonna have to get a parking permit, and they have to get permission from whoever owns the spot, the land, and then from code.
Is it a lengthy process for operators to get things up and running? What if someone is starting out and they want to be a food truck operator? How does the process work? Is it long? Is it short?
I mean, just ask for information. We're pretty good. You can call us at the health department and we'll be happy to help. We have an application packet, and we just have the different spots that you go to. We'll tell you to go to code, to go to the fire department for the fire inspection. And if you have any questions, we'll let you know.
Okay, awesome. As a health inspector, how does it make you feel seeing there is growth with food truck operators, and we're seeing more of them in Midland?
Well, it's pretty exciting to see, because you bring new stuff to the area. There's more stuff popping up. There's been a rapid increase in this past couple of years since COVID. I think people, instead of doing the brick and mortar restaurant, they're trying out their mobile unit, seeing if it works. It's less expensive, not cheap, but it's less expensive to start, and they just see if they can. There's been a couple of businesses that have started from a mobile unit and got a brick and mortar.
I want to say the name, but like,
yeah.
But I mean, Curbside Bistro, I think, has done a great job as far as operating from food truck. I mean, they did start in Odessa, but then going from that to restaurant, I mean, that's got to be a lot of hard work, right? Let's say if there's a Midland business that wants to eventually become a restaurant, how difficult is that? Do you know?
It's just a different process, so we also do that. They do a pre-inspection for their food establishment. There's a whole bunch of other code and other, the building has to meet code, and then us. It's a different process, but it's not that crazy. It's just basically same process. You're making food from a small space. You're going to a bigger space, and we'll glad to help any new restaurant that's willing to ask questions.
Well, I love food, and I love seeing more businesses come up and about. Is there anything that you'd like to finish this off, and anything you'd like the public to know?
Nothing. Just we're happy to help. We're here. Come down to the office. We're at 3303 West Illinois, the Kingsway Plaza.
Yeah, so if you have any businesses for a food truck, please go and call the Midland Health Department, because food, we all love food. We all love trying different types of food, and hey, it's what makes the tall city go round. But thanks for joining us for this interview on food truck safety. If you want to check out any more of our interviews, just be sure to log on to newswest9.com, or you can download our streaming app 9+. But thank you, Jason, for joining us and educating us on food truck safety.
Thanks for having us.
All right, see you guys next time.